Hey guys, welcome back to Andy Con Trains. We definitely appreciate all the new subscribers to his channel. Thank you very much. Also, all the positive feedback and likes. Tonight we're going to discuss the coal mine and run some trains.
I'm going to show you guys the beauty to sculpt the mold. So get yourself some dollar store stuff, as my wife talked about a couple days ago. It's real easy to work with. Here I miscut my base I made for my mountain. So all you do is get yourself some good old sculpamold and your cake spreader, or whatever you call this thing. You want to have some water in a spray bottle too, because it does kind of get hard pretty quick. But here we can achieve a nice embankment look very easily without getting out plaster cloth. I do really like the plaster cloth, but sometimes you can get more texture out of this. And you just paint it over because it's not going to be a rock, or just going to paint it over brown and put some of my foliage on there. I'll give you a heads up. You do want to try not to make a big batch of sculpamold unless you're going to use it. Carry some water with you though, so you can keep on going. So now that the sculpamold is dry, we'll apply our Scenic Material. First, I use some watered down white glue and common scenery supply glue. I make it myself. Save a lot of money doing that. You don't need matte medium and all other stuff. Then I do like mixing in some gold tacky glue by Leans. You can buy a gallon of it on the internet. It goes pretty far. It's great for inclines. You just brush it on with your cheapy dollar store brush or an old paintbrush. And then I like base coating things with a fine turf. This is a mix of green mix and soil. So here we are looking at the rock face in the coal mine area. Achieved this look by casting a bunch of rocks, as in the previous video. Then applied sculpamold between all of the pieces. My buddy John Marshall, who's really good with scenery and rocks, gave me some tips on painting, which I followed some, but I'm partially colorblind and I really can't blend and mix paint. So once again, my awesome wife came down and just started doing it, and it came out awesome. So we use some burnt sienna and raw umber washes to achieve the brown tones on top of the gray. Came out really good. Here's a color I mixed with some leftover paint and another color. This will be a coal dock for barges. I don't know how we're gonna set up the loader yet. Either like shoots through a wall or conveyor or the ramp that the car goes on. Still not sure yet. I'm gonna adjust the color on these walls as well. I got some foliage done. If anybody's seen the live video I was doing, this is what I was putting the base down for this corner here. This track here is kind of a storage track. I do have 77 coal hoppers now, so that'll come in handy at one point in time. Up here is going to be a little town. A town that would represent, at one time, a company town. Here's the end result from the sculpamold embankment. It's kind of hard to get the angle, though, on the camera. In the previous video, this was probably kind of a blank open space in this corner. So by using sculpamold, I was able to form this, base coat it with some paint, and then apply my Scenic Materials. Also darkened up the rock over here some. And previously, everybody probably seen that awful, kind of goofy cut that stuck out over here. So I fixed that. I'll have to paint underneath this track still. None of this is really set in stone once I get past the breaker. Darkened up the mountain over here a little bit. That's a train clock going off in the background if anybody does hear that. Got a lot of new coal hoppers from the train show last weekend. They'll be featured on today's running. Here's the overall view. I'm going to put a wall on this left side, basically right here, that will block the outside so you wouldn't be able to see the other side of the layout. I believe it would add an element of dimension to the layout, and it would block you from seeing all the stuff in the background over there as well. I do have some more modern houses, like that might have been built in the 70s, ranch houses that I might put up here. Not sure. The company houses need some weathering and some updating. That's all stuff I'll do later on. I'm just happy to have them all built and ready. I need to fix that spot back there. For some reason, I just haven't gotten to it. It won't take long. I just was focused on this area because this area of the layout's really starting to come along. And I wanted to get that wall up and get this going. I'm going to go back and probably fill in some of this with sculpamold as well. Touched up underneath my stone wall. That had a weird gap. Over here, I still need to do that. The river area does need some touch-up work. And I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do here for a cover. I have a switch motor I have to install. Just haven't gotten around to that one either. It's not a big deal. I just like to have the components. I don't know if I showed this area previously. This is all just going to be tons of trees. This is the excess material you get out of super trees. Super trees are awesome product. And you lose all the extra, just make some wild brush and stuff like that growing. This might be one of the next areas I focus on, depending how deep into the mine area I start getting. There's going to be a church, a cemetery, and a little building up there. Maybe a small little house. The next following scenes will feature coal operations from the mine to the power plant, and a little extra. This is an Atlas Alco RS3 with Look Sound 5, probably one of my favorite engines. I also really do like Alcos to begin with, but this has tons of features, an excellent runner as well. Here we see the train departing the coal mine with loaded cars. The train now enters the tunnel, runs under the industrial town area to the main level outside of the yard.
This area is actually an industrial yard for easy operations in the industrial area. Here we have an empty gondola train, which will be taken to the yard and prepared to hit the main line in the following scenes. Next we have the Alco taking some empties to the yard to be prepared for the next train to the mine or elsewhere. Today's train on the outside line will be a Alco C630 Bowser with Tsunami, a dummy Reading Conrail patched Proto 2000 GP30. Today's inside loop will be a Walters Proto Series GP7, followed by a dummy FB unit. The caboose also is an Erie Lackawanna with the CR patch. The middle loop features a Atlas Gold SD35 with Look Sound 5. All the bridges seen here are all Walthers kits, just in case anybody was wondering. I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing, positive feedback, all the comments. Especially like to thank the new subscribers. And stay tuned for more action. And we'll see you for O-Scale Thursday. Maybe we'll have something different prior to that. But till then, thank you all and have a good night.